welcome to Live from the Laundry Room, the show where we catch up with some of our favorite college partners, our educational partners, our friends in the college industry. And today we are pumped to feature a school on the other side of the state from us, from Mary Lauren and I, but that is not on the other side of the state from some of our Ayers Foundation schools. Today we are pleased to welcome Mr. Caleb Bennett from ETSU. Caleb, tell me, how's it going in social distancing and quarantine? How has all this been treating you?
Oh man, it's been challenging for sure. Going from working in the office to working at home with a wife and 3 kids, that's definitely brought some unique challenges in many different ways. And it's been interesting though, trying to continue to engage with our students and our prospective students in a virtual format. It's been challenging, but also I think we've been able to have some really good conversations with students because they're in the same boat we are. I mean, we're all kind of at home. So it's been good, challenging. I'm ready to be done with it. But yeah, it's been good.
Absolutely. And speaking of campus, of course, you know, we are 20 or so episodes deep into this. We know that all the schools are closed. We would normally check in to see, hey, is your campus closed or open? How is that looking? We know all the campuses are closed for now. We know that all of them have said not coming back this semester. What's the latest update from your school as far as like some news that you guys have put out? You mentioned virtual formats, like catching up with students. You know, what's the latest from this semester as far as what you guys are doing online?
Yeah, I mean, as far as this semester goes, I mean, all the classes are kind of finishing up. I know they're doing a lot to plan to celebrate our graduates, even though it's going to look a lot different this year than it has in the past, obviously. There's a lot of plans going on right now that I know they're happening, but I don't know what they are. Really trying to continue to celebrate our ETSU grads because I'm sure it's extremely difficult for them to have to kind of walk through all this virtually. I don't envy them at all, but we still want to celebrate them because they've done amazing things while on our campus. As far as like the rest of with our prospective students, everything, I mean, we've canceled all of our events at least through June on campus. We haven't made any really commitments beyond June, but we're really looking at how can we still serve the students, even if it is virtually. So we've done a lot of different things trying to connect with students and make sure that they understand all their next steps. But yeah, at least through the end of June, we're not having groups of students on campus, and everything is kind of in this virtual format.
You mentioned next steps, and that's kind of what leads us into this next question. So sometimes we have juniors watching this show or high school seniors that are going to be entering freshmen. What do they need to be doing to prepare? And you can kind of break this up in a 2-part answer. What do juniors need to be doing this summer and maybe in the fall? And then what do seniors need to be doing this summer? I know you kind of said June is pretty much shut down, but what about orientation and housing and all those things?
Right. So I'll speak to the seniors first. Although there are no on-campus orientations happening in June, we're still doing a lot of work right now to make sure that our incoming class still gets those experiences, still gets to connect with faculty, we get to connect with advisors, and also feature their fellow Buccaneers. And so we have a virtual orientation system that we're setting up that's should go out next week is the plan, where students can still receive at least a lot of the content that they would have received on campus. We set all of our incoming students at orientation up with a current student leader on campus. And so we're currently working on how to do that, how to connect virtually, whether it's through Zoom meetings, through different kinds of apps, different types of opportunities. So we're still trying to help students be able to engage, even if it's in a different way, be able to build relationships. The advisors are reaching out to students once they register for orientation, so then they can register for classes. So we still intend, I mean, it is our plan to bring these students on campus, not in June, but even if it's something that gets pushed back later and later, we still want to give students a real experience on campus, even if their regular orientation is virtual. Just because we know that connection to campus, that walking across the campus, being with other students, being with even our great faculty and staff, that's important. And so we're really wanting to do that. A lot of that's still in the air, but we still want students to be able to experience that. So we're making some tentative plans based on other recommendations that we're given throughout the country, throughout our state, everything like that. But yeah, we're still trying to do that. Students are registering for classes right now. I mean, once students sign up for an orientation, so once they confirm that orientation date, they're going to their advisors, and their advisors are calling them to then set up appointments to be able to register for their classes and get that certainty for the fall. Because I know that's a big thing right now, is just the uncertainty surrounding everything that I'm sure high school seniors are feeling right now. Uncertainty about how their senior year wrapped up, what that looks like going towards the fall. And so we're really trying to help students register those classes, let them see that and give them that certainty. It's not perfect, but just trying to serve our students in that way. Housing, we're still making housing placements for the fall. As soon as students apply for housing, those placements are made first come, first serve. We're still absolutely intending to have students living on our campus in the fall. That is our plan as of April 30th, 2020. And so we're making those placements, making sure students, again, trying to give them some certainty as they look towards the fall. So we're encouraging our admitted students to apply for housing, register for orientation, do all those things to really set themselves up for success going towards the fall.
I appreciate you pointing out. Of course, we always try to encourage our students to sign up for those things, but also you said as of April 30th, because everything seems to be changing daily. We never know. I actually just mentioned the other day the emotional roller coaster it's been as far as when salons can open back up. First it was May, and then it was end of May, then it was just joking about that. But before we get to a piece of advice that we love to ask everybody, I want to jump to my favorite segment because I have a little something to show off today. This next segment is what we love to call "What You Doing at Home." And this segment started because Mary Lauren and I noticed as two extroverts that we were doing quirky quarantine habits like Legos and video games and diamond art and whatever we could find to stay busy. We started this to kind of stay connected and try to connect with our students. So for today's "What You Doing at Home," I've been talking. We've talked about Legos a lot. They take up a lot of time. There's something fun, constructive to do, pun intended. But I've also been pointing out that I have a daughter who's 4 and I have a son who's 7. So the 7-year-old has been doing Legos a little longer. But since I was a child to now, they've now developed girl Legos, that are very much aimed at young ladies. And I love that. So that she can get involved and really like it too. So today I have what was brought from Easter, a pool, actually. It looks like a heart. It's in the shape of a heart, has a lid on it. It pops open. This is, she doesn't want to brag about it, but that's Andrea's pool. And Andrea she's got a little girl that goes in it. My daughter's Ella, so it's not Ella's pool, it's Andrea's pool. It also comes with a little floaty and an ice cream, and there's an umbrella somewhere, but the umbrella doesn't fit as nicely in the covered, I don't know if it's hot tub or pool. So the umbrella got eliminated from the pool type area. And so that leads us, Mary Lauren, tell us, what are you doing at home lately since the last time we spoke?
I have 2 activities. So the last time we spoke, I had highlighted my sister's hair. Well, as of last night, I dyed her hair. It's going to fall out in about 3 days, but it's totally fine. So I dyed her hair brown, and I put a little stir crazy little thing on her because she'll kill me if I post her without makeup. Then the second thing I have done, it's another Lego set. It's the Starfighter.
What? That's awesome.
And it's got R2-D2 and Luke. And then they came with a Stormtrooper, which are my favorite. So here we are.
We've covered a lot of Star Wars, Caleb. I also playing some video games, and that was the video game.
There's a lightsaber.
Oh, wow. You're going to have to tell me where you got that, because
Walmart.
We're going to have to build that one. We've got a lot of Star Wars sets that we've shown off throughout this 20-episode journey so far. Caleb,
and how are we? My real question is, sorry to interrupt.
No
how are we not sponsored by Legos yet?
You know, I keep reaching out. They won't return my emails or phone
I mean, good gravy. People are watching us everywhere.
everywhere. I mean,
Everywhere.
our YouTube views are in the tens of tens. I mean, it's way out there. Caleb, what are you doing at home? What have you guys been doing since? We know that we're still working from home, so let me preface that. We know we've actually talked before that the work from home now almost seems longer because you can't separate the rest from the work, you know. But
Absolutely.
after work is done, we still can't go anywhere. That's where these quirky quarantine habits are coming from. So, Caleb, what you doing at home?
Oh man. Well, that's weather dependent. So, nice weather. We got 3 kids, so I spend a lot of time in our backyard playing football, playing catch. Inside on nasty days like today, unfortunately, the amount of checkers games that I have played is innumerable. And not to brag, I mean the kids are 10 and under, but I am undefeated.
Undefeated.
Oh yeah. You got to be proud. You got to be proud of that, even if it's last night it was a 5-year-old, but I still won. So yeah,
You know,
I love it.
me if I let the kids win at games or video games, and I'm like, how would they ever learn to be better if I let them peak at 5 and 7? Like, how would they ever improve?
Exactly.
That's my goal, is to destroy them to build them up. That's how people work out too. That's how muscles are built. So that's
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
so checkers is the game of choice then. Is there any other games that are getting thrown down?
Well, our 9-year-old has developed multiple different variations of checkers. So we've got, he calls one Ultimate War, one Ultimate Checkers. It's all different variations of the game with its own made up rules depending on the day.
Right.
So it's lots of different variations of that.
Very nice. Good job navigating those new rules. I feel like they usually skew to the rule maker. So congratulations.
Absolutely. Very early, we had to make the rule that no new rules can be created mid-game. No, I'll go with whatever rules you want to create before the game. But once we start, rules are rules. Keep things interesting.
We understand that. We have added. We've talked about video games. We played Star Wars, like a Battlefront game, and then. But the main things we've been playing are depending on which child picks. We have Frozen Uno and Uno Attack. So you can imagine who kind of picks that. And
Right.
then Jenga is huge at my house right now. Even though no one loses that gracefully, I find that I don't know if it's just the physical act of the tower falling over, but as soon as a loser for that is had, you know, it's usually pretty bad. So
what's funny is there's been lots of Jenga at our house, but it's never the game. It's always that's been building blocks recently. So who can build the tallest tower out of 10 Jenga blocks? You turn them. Oh yeah, I think it's the noise that the kids love, because when it falls over, there's no quiet.
No.
Yeah, that's Jenga blocks too.
So it sounds like you guys need to record your own quarantine Olympics, like that one family's been doing. Online. It sounds like you guys need to. Who's built the tallest tower? You know, who wins Ultimate War, checkers? You keep us up to date on that. We'll check out that YouTube channel as well.
Oh, I'll do that. I'll see if I can get 11 viewers.
That's right. That's right. Well, Caleb, thanks so much for joining us and updating us on how you're doing, how ETSU is doing, and we hope to, if this continues, obviously, we want to check in again at some point and kind of see how July's looking, how the rest of this year is going to look, you know, because we don't know how long social distancing will really last. I know discussions are still in place, you know, across the state, across the country. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for filling us in on what you're doing at home. And I guess from all of us here at Live from the Laundry Room, this is Jesse and Mary Lauren signing out. Stay safe, guys. Wash those hands.